Armenia holds a unique and often overlooked place in Christian history. It was the first nation on earth to officially adopt Christianity as its state religion, years before the Roman Empire took the same step. The story took place at the beginning of the 4th century, in a kingdom caught between two powerful empires. To the west stood Rome. To the east lay Persia. Armenia existed in the tense space between them, constantly pressured by both. At that time, the official religion of the Armenian court was a form of paganism, influenced by both local traditions and Persian Zoroastrian elements. The worship of gods such as Anahit, Aramazd, and Vahagn was deeply woven into the life of the kingdom. The central figure in Armenia's conversion was a man named Gregory, who would later be known as Gregory the Illuminator. Gregory came from a noble Parthian family. His father, Anak, had been involved in the assassination of the previous Armenian king, Khosrov. As a result of that political murder, Anak's family was hunted down. Most of them were killed, but the young Gregory was rescued and taken away to Cappadocia, in modern-day Turkey. There, in a Christian environment, he was raised in the faith and baptized. Years later, Gregory returned to Armenia. Despite the dark history of his family, he entered the service of the new king, Tiridates III. For a time, he served quietly. But the moment of crisis came when the king ordered him to present offerings before the pagan goddess Anahit. Gregory refused. He would not honor a false god. His refusal was treated not only as religious disobedience, but as an act of political defiance. King Tiridates responded with fury. Gregory was subjected to cruel tortures. When he still refused to deny Christ, the king ordered him thrown into a deep, dark pit called Kor Virap, the Deep Pit. This underground dungeon was a place of slow death. Prisoners were lowered into it and left to die from starvation, disease, or madness. Gregory remained in that pit for 13 years. According to tradition, he survived only because a kind Christian widow from the nearby town secretly brought him bread each day. While Gregory suffered in darkness, the king continued his campaign against Christians. One of the most well-known events from this period was the martyrdom of a group of Roman Christian women, led by a young woman named Hripsime. These women had fled to Armenia to escape the advances of the Roman emperor. When King Tiridates saw Hripsime, he desired her for himself. She refused, declaring that she belonged to Christ alone. In his rage, the king had Hripsime and her companions tortured and executed. Their faithful deaths left a deep mark on the land. Not long after these events, King Tiridates himself was struck by a terrible affliction. Ancient Armenian sources describe him as losing his reason. Some accounts say he began to behave like a wild boar, wandering in the forests, grunting and living like an animal. The royal court was filled with fear. Physicians and pagan priests tried every remedy they knew, but nothing worked. The powerful king had become a broken and tormented man. In the midst of this crisis, the king's sister, Khosrovidukt, received a dream. In the dream, she was told that the only one who could heal her brother was the man who had been left to die in the pit, Gregory. At first, the court resisted the idea. How could a prisoner who had been condemned for 13 years still be alive, let alone heal the king? But desperation finally overcame pride. Men were sent to Kor Virap. To their astonishment, Gregory was still alive. When he was pulled out of the darkness after 13 years, he did not curse the king or demand justice. Instead, he was brought before Tiridates and began to pray. According to the ancient accounts, the king was healed. His mind returned. His torment left him. The healing was so dramatic that it shook the entire royal court. In the days that followed, Gregory began to teach the king about Jesus Christ. He spoke of the one true God, of the death and resurrection of Jesus, and of the emptiness of the old pagan gods. King Tiridates listened. Moved by the mercy he had received, and by the power of the message, he accepted the Christian faith. He was baptized, along with many members of the royal family and nobility. Around the year 301, Tiridates III made a decision that would change the course of Armenian history. He declared Christianity the official religion of the kingdom. For the first time in history, an entire nation adopted the Christian faith as its state religion. This took place more than a decade before Constantine's Edict of Milan in 313, and long before Christianity became the official religion of the Roman Empire. Gregory was appointed as the spiritual leader of the new Christian nation. He later received the title of Catholicos, the head of the Armenian Church. He spent the remaining years of his life traveling across the country, preaching, baptizing thousands, destroying pagan temples, and laying the foundations of Christian worship. Churches were built, priests were trained, and the Christian faith began to take deep root among the people. The deep pit where Gregory had suffered, Kor Virap, was later turned into a monastery. It still stands today at the foot of Mount Ararat, a lasting reminder of the man who refused to deny Christ and of the king who was healed and converted. The conversion of Armenia was not merely a political decision. It was the result of long suffering, unexpected mercy, and the quiet power of a faith that refused to die even in a dark pit. Because of those events, Armenia became the first Christian nation in the world, a distinction it has carried for more than 17 centuries. The Armenian Apostolic Church still traces its origin to that dramatic turning point, to a prisoner who remained faithful in the darkness, and to a king who found healing and then led his people into the light of Christ. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more stories like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.